Today's episode is proudly brought to you by the members of the You Run Podcast Network, all available at yourunpodcast.com.
You want to die tonight?
The dad jokes you tell sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Marc's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. But all to do one podcast. Unstep, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up tonight.
Boom, gotta get that. Boom, 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 gotta get that.
It's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday. It's getting hot in here, so hot, so take off all your clothes. This is how you remind me of...
Is there a meaning to that set list you just played there? Because that was the most random thing I've ever heard.
They were all released in the decade that today's movie is released. That is it.
It's a bit of a wide gap. You could have narrowed it down to the year of the movie. Surely.
I could have, but I didn't. Hello and welcome to a very disorganized You Run podcast horror movie review. My name is Scott.
And my name is Mark.
And we're your hosts each and every Monday as we take you through the movie that you have chosen on our Instagram polls. Today we're entering the halfway point of Kate Rules Month, the month where Kate took control of the show and basically showed us how to poll decent movies again and basically be a podcast. I was decidedly disorganized in putting this episode together, and I finished putting it together about 6 minutes before we were going to record on Friday. But there has been some time between Friday and now when we are recording. Mark, do you want to talk us through the delay in this episode being recorded?
Yeah, I'm going to tell the story, because if I let you do it, you'll just make me sound like an idiot. So basically, I was being a hero, as I usually am, and I had the most heroic fall and incident you've ever witnessed in your life. I took it like a champ. I was super brave. I didn't cry, and yeah, I'm here now. We're just delayed a couple of days. I was on bed rest. It was bad.
You were. Mark is playing it down. Mark fell off a roof, like off a roof properly. And for anyone who's wondering, oh, well, that doesn't sound that painful. This is the damage that Mark done to himself.
Yeah, I'm glad you censored that image.
Yeah, so am I. After I shared that, well, you shared that image in the group chat, and I sent a message along the lines of, you're a 180 away from OnlyFans. You forgot, I think, that Heather is also in our group chat.
Oh, no, I was aware. I just didn't realize the offense that a bum would cause.
Yeah, so Mark sent a picture of his bare naked ass to the group chat. This was Heather's response to that.
This is warranting a voice message. I can't even talk. Like, I literally almost spit on myself because I was like, that's Mark's booty crack. Like, your crack is cracking, hunty. I mean, your ass looks all right. I mean, you hurt your leg, but the butt still looks kind of bubbly. So there you go. You got that going for you. Lord have mercy.
You broke our group chat this week.
I know. I didn't realize. Obviously, I don't know. I mean, I'm a man. We all like shower together and do all the rest of the stuff together. I didn't know that like it was a thing. You know, I would have quite happily sent a picture of my penis if it was necessary to showcase the injuries that I'd sustained, if it was relevant to the conversation. You know, I don't know.
I'm glad you didn't. You're really not a shy guy. Heather also couldn't help but mock you for your fall. We got voicemail scattered everywhere this week because Yeah, because
Brilliant.
you fell off a roof and made this noise as you hit the ground.
I do feel like I've got an extra life. I'll be honest with you. It was a close call with death. This one. This was the one that was like really testing the limits of how much I can bounce. I think.
Yeah, you didn't bounce all that well.
No.
This is what Heather had to say again, because Heather was all over the fact you had a fall.
Oh yeah, I forgot to ask Mark. Whenever you fell off that ladder, was it yesterday? Did you hear, "Hold me now, I'm 6 feet from the edge and I'm thinking"? I'm just wondering. I mean, if you would have maybe heard that had you not have slipped and fallen. Anyways, toodles, happy Friday.
It's the weirdest thing because in that moment, I felt like I could have quite easily played that song out in my head. It happened within seconds, it was over. But in my mind, it was like, do you know, like that Sherlock Holmes thing where you go inside his brain as he first meets someone and he's like looking at the leg and he sees dog hairs. And obviously for the real world events, it's like 2 seconds, but in his mind, it's like a 5-minute breakdown of everything that he's taking in. That was what happened within the fall, man. It was the strangest thing ever. I felt like I was falling forever.
The thing is, though, you've reached an age now. Oh, this is the. Do you know what? You gave me so much shit when I fell. This just.
Dude, man, you fell off a toilet. I fell off a roof. There's a difference.
Anyway, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you survived, because finding a new co-host would have been a real pain in the ass that I didn't want to have to go through. We have got a review today. It's not just pick on Marc episode. We're going to do a brief synopsis as always. Then we'll do our full thoughts on the movie. Later on, we're getting into voicemails. We've got comments on Caption This. We've got a quiz. Well, the quiz that you're all playing that none of you can solve, that Marc now has 2. And I'm going to let him share the 2 he has, which means you lazy gits have only got 3 to get. And we've got some facts for all of you movie nerds out there as well. So don't just fuck off when the review is finished. Stay and listen to the whole episode. Have you ever wondered what would happen if a Hollywood writer done a bunch of cocaine and then watched Home Alone and Saw back to back? If you have, this movie 100% answers that question, as we follow Arkin, an ex-con with a plot to rub his current construction employer when they go on holiday. Little did he know that his planned heist would be magically filled with traps made by a Jigsaw / Kevin McAllister wannabe, and neither did he realize he would find the Gimp from Pulp Fiction lurking in the halls. But that's where he found himself, and this is where we find ourselves, as today we are looking at The Collector from 2009.
Bring out the Gimp. I think the Gimp's sleeping. Well, I guess you just have to go wake him up now, won't you?
What movie's that from?
Pulp Fiction.
You know what? I get a lot of stick for this all the time. I'm not massive on Pulp Fiction. I like it, but I don't think it's Tarantino's best work. I'm more of a Reservoir Dogs guy.
Yeah, I think Tarantino's best work is probably Inglourious Bastards.
That one I've only seen the once. I remember it being quite entertaining, but I'm not a big period piece guy. I think Reservoir Dogs is his sort of put a poll out. Let's see. Let's settle it.
Yeah, we'll put a poll out. We'll put my favorite, your favorite, and we'll put Pulp Fiction and see which one comes back. It's a landslide for Pulp Fiction, but hey, we'll do it anyway. I sit in a really weird place with these movies, the Collector and The Collection. They do some really good things, and then they do some really dumb shit around it as well. And I really struggle to get into them as much as I probably should. Because some of the stuff in this is really cool. And then other stuff, I'm like eye rolling, going, why the fuck did you do that? Are you sort of where I am?
I'm exactly the same as you, man. I don't understand why this movie is still a topic of conversation 20 years later from its release, or 15 years later from its release. It was a movie that I watched when it came out, and I was meh on it then, and I'm meh on it now. This movie has a lot of faults, man. It's heavily flawed. And in terms of all the culminations of stuff that it's drawing from, your Saws, your Hostels, it came out in that torture porn era of horror. And instead of being its own individual movie, it feels like a homage of everything else that's come out around it. It's like, oh, well, this is popular, so that's popular. So let's just blend it all together and make a movie out of it. And that's very much how The Collector feels to me. And I don't think it sticks a landing in doing so. Like, I think all the movies that it is replicating do this a lot better than The Collector does. There's a lot of stuff here that I do like. It's not all bad, but it's just one of those movies that always confuses me when I see it pop up on social media and stuff. And I'm like, why is this still relevant? Like, this is a straight to DVD movie at best that doesn't deserve the hype that people still keep giving it.
Yeah, there's bits, like I say, there's bits about this I really like. I really like the overall story and the premise. I like the fact that he's a construction worker, but he's using that just as basically his way of casing the house. And I think that's really clever. And I also like the fact that they've got lots of other work going on as well. So it kind of gives an explanation for how all of the traps end up in the house. But you and me, you and me both work in construction. To set up these traps, that is a team of 4 people for about fucking 6 days to get them all set up.
He left in the afternoon, went and had a chat with his wife, came back on the same night, and this fucking house was like Fort Knox, and it's one dude. I'm like, no chance. I'm not buying it. It's just so unbelievably implausible. And I'm like, it's one of those movies where you really have to suspend your disbelief with it, and just go in and be like, right, I'm here for the ride, and I'm going to leave any logical, rational thinking at the opening credits.
See, I was cool with all the traps. I'm like, yeah, he could have done this, could have done that. I know they couldn't be done in that time. Do you know the one that got me the most? And it bugged the shit out of me. Later in the movie, when he lets the daughter back in the house with her boyfriend, he's fitted 4 deadbolts into the door. He's not just put them on not screwed on. They're not like top fitting deadbolts.
They're all chiseled in.
They're all chiseled in and recessed in. I'm going, like, each one of those locks is half an hour.
Yeah.
Like, to get it done to the quality he has, each deadbolt is half an hour. So he spent 2 hours just working on that door and somehow managed to magically make all of the other traps happen at the same time.
It's just all of them, man. I mean, it's like even just the simplistic stuff was the ones that was annoying me. Like all the nails through the tread of the staircase. I'm like, that takes time. And then the one that really bugged me was all the fish hooks in the bathroom. There was like 100 fish hooks hanging on fishing wire. And it's a really simplistic thing. And I think that's one of the things that I like the most about this movie is not so much the elaborate traps. It's the little niggly ones that catch you out as you're running through the house. And the fish hook one is always one of my favorites. But there's like 1 million fish hooks hanging from this ceiling, all on fishing line. I'm like, even just to tie the knots alone, let alone placing them without getting yourself tangled in them as you're going. I'm like, that is like a serious task in itself.
Yeah, it's not a quick task.
Beware the hooks.
But beyond that, there is a storyline. The family that are in the house, like the bit that puts me off straight away, it never lands with me. And I thought maybe this time it would land differently. At the beginning, when Arkin's casing the house and he bumps into the little girl from the house, she's like, oh, hi, come and have a tea party with me. And then he tries to get the spider. He agrees, first of all, which is fucking weird. And then he tries to get the spider off the girl and she screams and the dad comes in. How did he not get fired or punched? At bare minimum, he would have been sacked on the spot.
I think so, yeah. It's very unprofessional. I would be like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah. And his explanation is like, oh, yeah, well, I've got a daughter that's 6'2". I don't give a fuck. Like, why are you sat having a tea party with my daughter when I've paid you to fix the fucking door?
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, it's irresponsible parenting. If you've got about 16 builders in your house, none of them you've vetted and have no idea who they are, you don't let your children free roam without watchful eye on them at all times.
Yeah, you really do. And also, the exterminators they've got are fucking dreadful. We get an explanation as to why later on in the movie with the big reveal. But there is wasps' nests, there's spiders everywhere. And these exterminators have killed nothing. Like, Arkin comes around and goes, there's a wasp's nest over there. And they're like, oh, yeah. and we find out later it's because the collector is the exterminator, so he's not actually killing anyone. That's meant to be his cover for getting all of his traps in.
Yeah. Again, I'm just not awfully sold on the collector himself. I haven't seen the sequel. I wasn't sold enough on this first one to go and check out the sequel, but I don't feel like there's enough meat on the bones with the character himself for me to be like, ooh, that's really cool. It's just a dude setting up traps that I find very unbelievable. And then we get no real information about him whatsoever, his motives, his reasoning behind it. And I'm like, I need more for me to enjoy this. I need to know more.
Yeah, the collection I actually like better. So the collection, long and short of it, is Arkin escapes the box that he's trapped in, and then he gets together a team and they go to the collector's house to try and take the collector down. That's a lot more interesting.
In sequence where it's like in a nightclub like Blade, and then this big combine harvester thing comes out and wipes them out in like the opening credit. I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done. I was already sore at this point as well. By the time I checked out the collector, I think I made it 5-10 minutes in and turned it off.
The thing is, though, some of the traps in here are really good. So he goes to rob the safe. He finds that the dad has been taken hostage by someone, and his initial escape out the window, that is arguably one of the worst traps ever, with that blade across the bit of wood that shuts down on his hand. That's awful. Almost degloves him.
I mean, he's I mean, I'll give Arkin some credit in this movie as a final guy, if you will. He's pretty resilient, you know. He takes some serious damage, which is one thing that I do appreciate when it comes to this movie. Is he's not invincible like a lot of the final girls and the rest of them are in these types of movies. He gets seriously fucked up along the way.
Yeah, he does. The thing is, with this movie, it's all traps. So you get the hand one. The one that I don't like is the glue on the floor. That they two reasons. Like, I'm not a fan of cats. Everyone who listens to the show know me and Mark are not cat people. But even I went, did the cat have to get stuck? Did you have to peel the cat out? And then did the cat have to get chopped in half going through the window? Like, it was there just to be torture porny. It didn't serve a purpose.
Yeah. Fuck that cat.
But also the glue's acidic. You work with glues,
like melting shit, but yet he was walking like you put like dictionaries down to walk across the floor and stuff. I mean, it just all felt very funhousey.
It is very, very much like that. What do you think of his mask? You're the mask connoisseur of the show.
I don't like the mask at all. I think it's really, really silly. It's got like it removes all characteristics from the person itself, so it's not necessarily a straightforward mask. It has like a twistedness to it, but it's not made from a soft material, so it's been designed and set as a twisted looking face. It's almost like a hybrid between like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and what was that really cool magician from the 90s who used to reveal all his tricks?
Oh, the Masked Magician.
The Masked Magician. That was a simple enough answer I needed. He was a fucking dude. It's kind of like that, but it's been in the tumble dryer for too long.
Yeah, I get that. The one thing I don't understand, it's never explained, is his like cat's eyes. Like, they look cool as fuck when the light hits him, and his eyes are just like
Riddick from Pitch Black.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. And again, Riddick was out around this time, and it's like, oh, that was cool. Shall we use that?
Of course.
But yeah, the collector himself, because he doesn't speak and because he doesn't really do a lot. Like, you see him run around a bit. You see him stop to rub himself inappropriately as the teenage girl gets.
That was weird.
It was really odd.
Again, like stuff like that. That's what annoyed me about this movie is when it comes to the character of the collector, they show him as like a sort of like degenerate, you know, like alluding over this young woman. And for all the sins of glorifying serial killers in horror movies, the mainstay sort of ones that we discuss and talk about are not really that kind of sexually perverted in that sense. Like your Michael Myers, I know he killed his sister who was naked, but he didn't kill her because she was naked. And then you've got like, I know for Jason kills people who have sex, but he doesn't stand there masturbating over them while they're doing it. Same with Freddy, same with your Chuckies, And there isn't enough information about this guy or this person that we're supposed to be following as a antagonist to then see him be so vulgar in this situation over a young woman and think it's okay.
Yeah, again though, it reminded me of Home Alone.
Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
I didn't like it, man. I didn't like that scene at all. It really, really devalued the character for me. Something that they were trying to build up. It was probably about that point that the mystification of him sort of started to fall downhill, because he does that, and then he gets like stabbed with the knife sealing thing, and you hear him scream in pain, and it's like, so you are just really just a pervy weird man in a mask, and that's not kind of cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think this starts really well. Like the opening scene of this, the couple coming back from their gala dinner or whatever they've been to, and they're about to come back and get jiggy, finding the box in their bedroom with a note from the collector. Like, if that was me and Lisa come home from a night out and there was a big trunk with someone banging inside, I would just turn around, walk back downstairs, go back outside to the car and call the police.
I mean, you don't need to ask what I would do.
Would you honestly, though? You come home, it's you and your missus, you're stood there, there's a box in your living room with someone banging from the inside. You would open that box. I don't believe you.
I would open it. They might need help. They might need saving. I have a hero complex.
Would you be armed when you open the box?
Well, I mean, I'd grab whatever was closest to me.
So you're going to be stood there with a TV remote as you open the box.
I'm like Laurie Strode, though. I do have my house pretty well equipped for emergencies. If we ever got broken into and stuff like that. I have like bats and golf clubs in certain locations. I even have an axe fairly well stashed for when things get really fucking dangerous.
Do you have random knitting needles lying around the front room just in case?
No, I'm more like Laurie Strode 2018, not Laurie Strode 1978.
Right. Okay. So you're a more equipped. You're a more unhit. You're one step away from being the collector. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh yeah. I have like tinned food in the loft and stuff like that. You should never know if you have to take refuge up there. I'm joking. I'm not that crazy.
The thing is, I can see it. I can see you coming in once a month with a box of, this is the tin food for the loft this month. We'll take out the stuff at the end of the month and we'll use it if no one's broken in. If we've not had a zombie apocalypse, we're going to have to use it.
Nah, man, that shit lasts for fucking years and years. Just tin fruit and all the rest of it. Just don't get meat. Just stay with the vegetables and you'll be all right.
So you've got tin fruit from 1989 in your loft. The bear trap kill is my favorite. I love the bear because they tease it for ages. So you see the collector tiptoe through the bear traps, then you see Arkin tiptoe through, and I'm like, so I had a point where I'm like, no one's going in those bear traps, and then they deliver it. Practical effects in this film are fucking spot on.
Perfect. Really, really good. Really, really good. I don't have any issue with any of it. And to be honest with you, you mentioned the bear trap. My favorite kill of the entire movie follows immediately after. And I think it's that 5-minute scene of those two kills, which is the best in the movie, to be honest with you, because you get the bear trap kill of the boyfriend. And then immediately afterwards, the daughter, the girlfriend, get killed with the projector catapult. And that's just so fucking cool, man. When she gets catapulted to the projector screen and there's like a bed of nails behind it. That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and again, that like planning that and working out the angles and the weight and making sure that...
it's not going to happen, but it looked cool.
The thing is, there is one trap in this that they show, and they show it multiple times, and at no point does anyone go through it, and it pissed me off. And it's the room full of razor wire. They've got a room.
Does he not cut his face on it at the beginning? Like he's Arkin's really, really good in this movie. I will give him that. I don't like the actor. He's a stoned actor. And what I mean by a stoned actor is he's very dozy on screen. Sean Penn, he's a stoned actor. Everything he does is really like stoned. I mean, Woody Harrelson is someone else you could say, Matthew McConaughey, but they are genuinely stoned actors, not just stoned actors. But Sean Penn and him have this weird sort of glazed look about themselves, and everything's really drab and emotionless. And I'm sure it's just him as a person. I genuinely believe he is just being himself in this movie and not really doing too much. But it's weird, and I don't like it. I've met people like that in real life, and they're strange. You always feel like there's something else going on behind the eyes. Anyway, I digress. What was I talking about?
Yeah, he licked himself on the razor wire. He did.
Oh yeah. No, like I was just saying, I really like him as a character in this movie. Not only because he takes a severe amount of damage, but it's how stealthy he is around the house, and like he's always missing that creaky step every single time he's running up and down the stairs and things like that. Like he's picking up the layout and the traps and managing to avoid mistakes he'd made prior as every time he goes through it. He's like Solid Snake every time he's going through it. It's really cool.
The stupid thing is, this is written really, really well. If you take the ludicrous amount of traps out of the equation, the actual story and the way he avoids the collector and the way he tries to save the mum downstairs, and he tries to say goes back in to save the little girl, like all of that is really well written. And had you moved the location of this to this is actually the collector's house, which then makes sense of all the traps, it's a much more solid movie.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those things, man, where like I'll be honest with you, the first time I watched it when I was like a late teenager, I never picked up on the plausibility of the setup. you know, it's only as an adult I'm now like, yeah, I do real world shit all the time now. I don't just sit in my bedroom. I know that that's not achievable in the time scale you've just presented to me.
Yeah, and the family in this I don't find particularly likable. I don't like the dad. The dad's a dick from the off. I think the dad of the house is a dick. So I feel no concern when the collector's got him.
He's a great actor, though. He's a really, really good actor. He plays Ted Bundy in Ted Bundy, the movie from like the 90s, and he's fucking awesome in that film.
Yeah, really good actor. The mum's a really good actress as well. But again, her character, the first interaction we get with her is why her daughter's screaming for her to come to her. She's like, "Oh, hold on, honey." Why injecting Botox into her forehead? And I'm like, dislike you.
But the
I
thing is,
dislike
well,
you a
they
lot.
don't set anybody up in this movie to be likable, apart from the little girl.
Yeah, like they try to set up the teenage girl as like the rebellious teen girl. She goes and talks to Arkin and tries to bum a cigarette off of him, and she's like, "Oh, you can come see me later." I'm just like, oh, I don't like you because you seem really slutty. And then she comes back with her boyfriend and guy she met at a party, and she is very slutty. And like all of these characters, they're the ones that Arkin's risking his life to save them. And I'm like, just fuck these people off and get out of the house. He could have escaped 1,000 times over.
He could have done. But I don't empathize with his character anyway, purely because he's to rob. And I know he's doing... The real villain of this fucking movie is actually his wife.
His wife, who's got in trouble with loan sharks and then bollocks him. Like, he stood there going...
We don't know what we did.
He got such a fucking bollockage. Like, you're not helping me. You're going to lose your daughter. I'm going to have to run away. It's like,
but it's like you did it. Yeah. You caused all this shit, and like he's done. That's why I'm like, I genuinely feel for him in that instance. That is probably the only time I do feel for him. He's like, because he doesn't care about her. He just doesn't want her to take his child away, which is why he's doing this in the first place.
Yeah.
But it also immediately goes into setting the story up as if he hasn't done this by chance, and he's a professional safecracker, and he's been doing this a very, very long time, and then it's like it doesn't come across like an Ocean's 11 kind of situation. It's more like you're a crook. Why the hell should I be supporting you in this? I just think that side of the writing's really, really poorly done early on.
Yeah, he's not a polished thief by any stretch of the imagination.
No. It's no Thomas Crown affair. It's very, very shoddily put together in terms of setting up his character.
But he, like you, suffers with the hero complex. Like, he goes to save the mum, he tries to save the dad, and when he does finally get out, like, he's home free. The collector doesn't even know he's escaped, and he turns around and sees the little girl. I'm like,
I'd go back. Would you go back?
Yeah, I watched it with Lisa, and she's like, "Would you go back?" I was like, "I would." I was like, "If it was just the other family in there, and I'd got out, and I hadn't seen the little girl, not a fucking chance in hell would I have gone back in. They could all die. Fuck you, like you're all assholes." But as soon as I saw the little girl, I'm like, "You didn't do anything wrong. The collector isn't. I can see in the window the collector's now behind you, and I can't live with that sort of shit on my conscience. I would have to go back in." But like, what's the deal with the collector? Because Arkin beats the fuck out of him about 20 times in this film.
Yeah, and then like I said earlier, the chandelier dropping, he gets stabbed about 1,000,000 times with a knife, falls victim to a few of his own traps. And this is it. I just don't know, man. I just don't know. He's presented to us at the end when it's revealed that he's just a pest control guy. But it's like, that's not enough for me. That's not enough for me to justify his actions, to justify his reasoning, to justify how he managed to get stabbed in the chest 3 times and then still managed to take down Arkin at the end of the movie. When he gets Arkin at the end, man, and he just picks him up one-handed and throws him to the ceiling of the ambulance. I'm like, what is this dude's deal? Like, I need more information.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem, the lack of information around the character. And I'll be honest, in the collection, we get about the same amount of information around the collector. And I think the plan was when they do the third movie, The Collected, they were going to give us...
Been on hiatus for about 10 years now, I think.
It was filmed, it was completed during COVID, and then there was rights issues and there was some other issues and it got binned. It's been made and filmed.
Someone that comes back as well, doesn't it? I'm sure I've seen like stills on Bloody Disgusting that he's in it as well.
Yeah, so someone we know who we've had on the show worked as a visual effects artist, makeup effects artist on the. Yeah, Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Yeah.
Cool.
So he worked as a visual effects artist on The Collected, which then subsequently has never been released. They are working to rewrite the script and release it without infringing on someone's copyright. It's in a very much a Jason Voorhees world at the moment, that one person owns one bit and one person owns another, and they're arguing the toss.
Shit, when it comes, it's always about money, man.
The stupid thing is, if it was me and you and we had split rights and we were kind of bickering a bit, if someone had already made the fucking film and we were both going to make some money, I'd be like, look, let's sort all this shit out later. We'll just go 50-50 on this one, let them release it, and then we'll worry about the shit afterwards. It's been made.
I don't know. Patreon's doing well, mate. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. The ambulance chase, like, that's bizarre. Like, they get out, they end up in the ambulance, and the collector, like, he just rams into the ambulance, flips it, like, rips off the door. And the lack of development and not knowing who he is or what he is bugs me.
Yeah. And again, it's like it would have taken probably 5 minutes of additional screen time to give me everything I needed. And to be fair to him, I'm talking to him like he's a real person. To be fair to the character of the collector, he's quite an intimidating presence on screen. And I feel like his mask, although I'm not a massive fan, I know a lot of people are, he is on the right path of becoming a mainstay sort of horror villain. You know, this could have gone on to have 10, 12 movies like the Saw franchise did, had it been marketed right. But the first movie just didn't get it right in terms of giving us what we needed to invest in.
No, this falls victim to a lot of movies at this time. So you had Saw, you had Hostel, that set the benchmark of what this torture style horror was going to be. And there is 100 other movies that do this torture trap house style horror that come in the couple of years after. And The Collector is the best of those. But The Collector focused on, let's see how many cool traps we can do. Let's see how many cool kills we can do, which is great. I don't mind that. I'm quite happy with that in most films. But they tried to fit a storyline in with that and didn't explain the storyline.
Yeah. I mean, even with stuff like the original Saw movie, you take John Kramer out of the equation because no one even knows who he is for 99% of that movie. You're alluded to thinking it's the guy who's actually kidnapped his wife for a long period of time. But you have that police presence dealing with the case, drip feeding information to the audience regarding how long he's been around, what he's been doing, his sort of generalized motives of the reasoning and why he's doing this kind of stuff. And we don't get that here. And I feel like that was so vital to elevating this story to a different level.
Yeah, I think for a single location horror movie with a very small budget that was still filmed on old technology, because this isn't filmed digitally. That's the first thing I noticed when I switched it on. I was like, fuck, it's grainy as shit, that picture.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it looks great. And again, I know it's a low budget movie, but the problem is it's like it's just there, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just there where it's teetering on the edge of getting that free pass for being a low budget movie, but because it looks so good and because so much of it is done so well, it gets categorized as something that it's actually not, which is what I was saying earlier on in the episode, that this was a straight to DVD bullshit movie that should have been forgotten about. But because there's so many strong elements to it, people are still talking about it, but they're talking about it in the wrong ways, because it should have been talked about as one of those movies that almost had a home run.
Yeah, and I think you're right on that. And if I'm honest, there's not a lot of meat on the bone here. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we move on?
No, I mean, we've dove into some of the highlights for me because I don't want to fully shadow this episode with negativity, because it is worth a lot of people's time, and I did enjoy rewatching it.
So did I.
Watching it highlighted so many of the issues that are prevalent on screen with it. I just think as a going in, switching off Friday night horror movie with a takeaway, it's perfect. But if you're wanting more from it and it's gonna annoy the shit out of you like it did me walking away with unanswered questions, even though there is a sequel, it annoyed me that much that even though I know there is a sequel out there, I don't want to watch it because the first one pissed me off that much. But now you've just even mentioned to me that the fucking sequel doesn't even give us any information either.
The sequel is infinitely better though, because it does have the elements that you're talking about. It does have the sort of the detective style element as they try. It's the roles reversed. They're now hunting the collector, so it has more of a story. They do try and figure out who he is and what he's doing and why he's been doing it. They don't get answers, but they try. And
I didn't necessarily need the answers. It was just that need of knowledge, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know the problem is it's contained to one event, one singular location and one singular evening. Nobody's none the wiser. Everyone's just trying to survive. But for us as audience members, we just need to know more, I think. And it could have been very easily done with a simple flashback to the collector, and a Michael Myers style opening, killing his sister sort of thing. It didn't have to have meaning. It didn't have to have relevance. It could have just had a cold open like that, and then we rolled into the movie.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll move on then. It's time for your recommended account of the week, which you're not ready. So I will. I'll dig you up a soundbite. Let's go with this one.
Love a sticky carpet, didn't you?
That was the shortest soundbite in the fucking world.
Sorry, I'll go for another Marc fell over one.
Get up!
Right, I have a few. Let me just find one that I think is going to be the one that I want to talk about tonight. This one is obviously his Instagram, as always. This is Vice Wave FM. If, like me, you're a big fan of the whole Vice City era of neon lights and video gaming, still one of the greatest video games of all time. Vice Wave FM on Instagram is an account you must follow. It is an account that basically just plays all of the songs that are featured from the soundtrack of Vice City with the music videos. Do you know, like you get reels of like snippets of the songs, and I use it quite regularly to go to that page and then think, oh, that's a cool song. I'm going to put that on tonight's post. It's a great source of music for me, but it's just a cool account to when you're doom scrolling, as most of us do with our days now and every now and again, to see their reels pop up and for it to take you back to a time when you used to spend hours and hours on end playing Vice City. It's a great account for that. I think a lot of people will like this, and it's a great one to have in the doom scrolling bank. So check them out on Instagram. That's Vice with FM.
We all love an anniversary. We all love a big celebration of a big event, which is why you should go and listen to Release Date Rewind, because that's exactly what they do. They find movies that are celebrating 20th, 30th, 40th, 50th anniversaries, and then talk about those movies and go back into the history and how they've become beloved iconic movies. And they do every single genre of film as well. So go and check out Release Date Rewind. Also, if you are a nostalgia whore like me and you like anything from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, even some stuff that is really, really prevalent in pop culture today, then you need Pop Culture Reflections podcast. This is a show that dives into everything pop culture, be it films, TV, professional wrestling, music, you name it, they cover it. So that's Pop Culture Reflections podcast. And you can check out both of these shows, so that's Release Date Rewind and Pop Culture Reflections podcast on the You Run Podcast Network at yourunpodcast.com. So go and do that now, and back to the show.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, you're welcome. Please go and check out Mark's recommended account of the week. I'm going to, because I am like you. Vice City was my first. I played the earlier GTAs, but Vice City was the one where I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, I had GTA 3 was the first one I got into, and then Vice City came out, and I never played anything since. I never played San Andreas. A lot of people, when I talk about GTA now, we're talking video games, guys. I know this isn't appealing to most people, but a lot of people are like, yeah, San Andreas, best Vice City game ever, best GTA game ever. I'm like, dude, I never saw it because I was still playing Vice City when it came out.
Yeah, I was as well. Our boys play GTA 5 and have played that forever and still play it online now. And it's the countdown now to GTA 6, which I think is early next year.
It was supposed to be this year.
Yeah, I think they've pushed it back.
Yeah, no, they have definitely pushed it back. But yeah, it was supposed to be probably around this time, September, I think this year it was supposed to come out. And I think they've pushed it out to summer next year now. Again, it's like new generation consoles. It's not, I don't have new generation consoles, so I probably won't be able to play it. And
the thing is,
YouTube videos and shit, it'll be all over Facebook, so I'm sure I'll get the gist. But it is set in Vice City, which is kind of tempting me to go out and buy a PS5.
Yeah, it's set in Vice City, and apparently there's going to be some returning characters as well, which instantly made me interested because those characters are now going to be 20 years older in gameplay, and that's appealing to me.
See, the thing is, I have a mate of mine who's like one of those people who just buys shit. He's got a PS5 Pro, bought it on release day. I don't even know if he's fucking turned it on. It's just sat on his like TV unit in his house. Like when Vice City comes out, I'm like, oh mate, do you mind if I just borrow that for a week?
Yeah, I've got one, but we use ours every single day.
Yeah, because you use yours for streaming and TV and stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
And I think the thing is, do you know what I did, mate? And this is a confession I'm going to give on the show right now that I'm still kind of battling with inside myself a little bit. And it's probably the reason I fell off the roof, to be honest with you, because I did a bad thing. I didn't do a bad thing. I just seized an opportunity. Okay. So, I do like a lot of charity shop huntings to try and find shit for the room and stuff like that. And I went into this charity shop and they had this box of DVDs. I'm not a DVD guy, but I saw this Dawn of the Dead DVD in there, and it was like this limited release box set DVD. I've got it here actually. The Ultra HD 4K box set release, right? And it's got like the bucket there. It's got like this like real. It's all fucking singing and dancing, like the highest color grade you can get. It's got all 3 cuts of the movie on it. And I saw it just sat there in this box. And I said to the woman, I was like, oh, how much do you want for this? And I know how expensive this thing is because I've seen it when it was on release and then when it came out. And I know the eBay prices on the thing now. And because it was in the box of DVDs, She's like, oh, I don't know, £1. I was like, yeah, sure. And I paid her the £1 and I took it knowing its value from a charity shop, man. But in my defense, would somebody else have done the same thing? Because she would have probably put this out on the shelf with all the other DVDs, listed at £1. Someone will have came in. No one's going to go up to her and be like, did you know this is worth like £250 and paid £250 for it?
Yeah. So what you're saying is,
or did I just be the first in line to do the right thing?
Instant karma.
This is kind of where I'm at right now, because I kind of feel like what the pain I'm going through was karma.
Yeah, you need to go and you need to go back to that charity shop and spend like another 50 quid to make up for it.
Oh, mate, they've had fucking hundreds of pounds off me over the years anyway. But the point is like, that would have gone out on the shelf that day, and it would have just been in the DVD bucket, and it would have gone for £1 to somebody.
Yeah.
I was just the first one there to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was
you skipped the queue.
to know it. And would anybody else have realized its value? Is anybody else as into this kind of shit as I am?
It depends. If I went in the shop like after you had left it, I would have bought it for £1. I wouldn't have said how much it was.
I would have done all day long. I mean, the thing is with charity shops, like they're getting smart now.
Yeah.
Like before, you used to go in and they'd have a Super Nintendo with 10 games and you could buy it for £5.
Yeah.
Now they Google everything and they eBay check everything. And this was just one of the weird things that wasn't done because it was just in a box on the floor. And the lady at the time was just like, oh, it's a DVD. We usually sell for 50p to £1. Is £1 okay? Because it's a box one. I was like, £1's absolutely fine by me.
Yeah. Oh, well. Well, you won and you lost all in the same breath.
It did. But the point of the conversation was, before I realized that I'm a criminal, was I don't have a 4K Ultra HD player. And I want to know how do I watch this? Because I've got...
You buy a PlayStation 5.
I think PlayStation 5 doesn't. I think it's only the PS5 Pro that has the Ultra HD 4K player on.
Yeah. Yeah, so you get that.
It's the Pro version.
Yeah.
But then do I need to have like it? That's like saying, right, so you can get a PS5 Pro. You
need a 4K telly.
I'm gonna say I can't just plug it into my CRT TV in here and it be the same quality. I'd have to have. I mean, I've got a 4K telly in the house, but I got that when it was released, like
it's still
8 years ago. I don't even know if the quality. I mean, do you know when you go on YouTube and you like type in 4K videos?
Yeah.
And you're like, what? When you're telling it looks super cool, and then you go back and watch the chase, and it just looks shite.
Yeah.
That's kind of the vibe I have with my telly. It only looks good when I watch 4K videos on YouTube. Maybe I should get a proper setup.
Yeah, I think you should. We'll spend some money for you. Maybe you should buy all that stuff in the charity shop to make up for your earlier sin.
I don't know though, man. I feel real bad about it. And I know I'm going on about it. It's because I'm trying to convince myself that I did the right thing by taking it and saving it. Nobody would appreciate it and look after it more than I would. Somebody would have just bought it and sold it on for profit. So I'm like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Tell me I did the right thing.
You done the right thing. Do you feel better?
Let's move on.
Okay. Make sure you check out the You Run Podcast Network. All of the fabulous shows on there. YouRunPodcast.com. On there, you'll find all the members of the network, all of our shows. You'll also find links to our merch shop, links to our Patreon, which will be on this week, as will the newest shows to the network as well. On our links to our socials, you'll find Instagram, where you'll also find Marc. He is at VHS from the Crypt, where he does VHS content and now, by the looks of it, DVD content, and also reviews from the Crypt, where he reviews horror movies, and he does these all of the times he's not falling off of roofs.
I do indeed.
Yeah. You can find us on Instagram and everywhere else. We're at You Run Podcast, literally absolutely everywhere. If you want to support us, go to patreon.com/You Run Podcast, where there's a selection of tiers and you can get everything. Early release of videos, an extra show, behind the scenes stuff, like the stuff I put on there that doesn't go anywhere else, like where I go through some of my collections. Some more of those videos coming very soon. It's a really, really cool place. You can join it for free as well. So yeah, go and do that. You don't get very much for free, I'll be honest. If you're being tight with us, we're being tight with you. So if you turn up free, you get what you pay for. There are things you can do to support the show that are free, that don't involve you going to Patreon. Share the show with a friend. give us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify, comment on YouTube or Spotify, and that's pretty much about it. Should we do some facts?
Please.
This was written as a prequel to Saw.
Prequel. All right, so like a younger John Kramer.
This was written as a young John Kramer story. The idea was declined. They went, that's great, but we don't want John Kramer to be some weirdo in a gimp mask, so we're going to pass on that. Thanks.
Yeah, which I'm glad they did.
Did you catch the after credits scene? Did you stick around that long? So there's an after credit scene where basically it's long and short of his Arkin in the box, like. But there is one.
See him get put in the box.
Yeah, so you see him actually in the box, like knowing he's in the. It's one of those pointless scenes that I don't think many people have seen. So go to YouTube and find it, or go watch The Collector and go through the 16 minutes of credits to get to it.
Yeah,
there's an alternative ending to this that if I can find it for when we release this episode, I'm going to share it because it is dark as fuck.
Oh, okay, I'm interested. What happens?
Arkin escapes. Arkin turns round and sees the little girl. And Arkin, with no remorse and no hesitation, just keeps on walking.
Oh, right. Wow. What, like 15 minutes before the end of the movie?
Yeah, so when you see... So that was going to be the end. So when Arkin escapes, he turns around, he sees the Collector grab the little girl, and he goes, yeah, I'm going to give that a miss. Thanks, though. Bye. And then credits roll.
Then we wouldn't have got the cool fish tank scene, though.
Yeah, there is that, and it would have been very, very dark as well. That's a dark
I
ending.
forgot that
part. So the guy who done, I'm going to read this as I found it because it's very difficult to ad-lib it. Taxidermist hobbyist Mikey Rudolph provided the pelts necessary for the bear trap scene. Instead of being paid, he was compensated in Diet Coke and Cool Ranch Doritos for his assistance on the production.
Wow. Not bad payment, I'll be honest with you.
No, I think that's quite cool. And yeah, I worked on The Collector. I'm in the credits. Oh, did you earn much? No, but the amount of Cool Ranch Doritos I had is unreal. There are some things in this that I spotted and then I fact checked them and I was correct. The Collector's van crashes into the ambulance, and after it does, you get a shot of the front of the Collector's van, not a scratch on it.
I didn't notice that. I mean, to be fair, they do a good job of distracting you by showing that it's a pest control guy as he takes a sticker off.
But,
but they do that in a lot of movies, though, because it's expensive to total cars, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But yeah, not even made an attempt to show that it was damaged or just not show it at all. The one that got me the most, that cracked me up, is, you know, when he puts the jar on the belly full of the cockroaches.
Oh, yeah. I always forget that.
And then heats it up for them to crawl in.
Yeah, we spoke about it on the show before. They do it best in Fast and Furious 2.
With the rats.
Too Furious with rats.
Yeah. But I questioned whether cockroaches would actually eat him. And some roaches will. However, the ones that they used for the movie are Madagascar hissing roaches. They are completely harmless. They're herbivores, and their mandibles aren't even strong enough to bite through human flesh. So even if they wanted to eat him, they couldn't have eaten him.
Which, again, is probably why they used him in this film, because it's all very low budget. So they would have put them in there knowing that they would never hurt him if they burnt them in the jar.
Exactly that. There's a fact in here that's purely for me. I don't know if anyone else will be interested in this, but the actress who plays the young girl is Madeline Zima, and it was bugging the shit out of me where I knew her from. And it took me ages to work it out. So she played the mum from Subservience. She played the mum who's incapacitated. So in this, she's a teen girl. And in the movie I most recently watched her in, she's a 43-year-old woman.
The older daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know her from Hero season 4. She was like Claire's roommate when she goes to university or some shit. But yeah, she'll be old now.
Yeah, she's not old. She's about the same age as me.
Oh no, no, she's not. She's younger than you, but she's old now.
Thanks a lot. How well do you think this done? It cost $6 million to make. What do you think this made globally?
Did this get a theatrical release?
It did get a theatrical release.
Limited or?
It was fairly limited in the States, but across Europe, it was a full shebang.
I think due to the lack of pushing for sequels and the continued success of the franchise, I'm going to say this barely made by. I reckon it made its budget back, but not taking into account like advertising costs and things like that. I'm going to say I don't even think it broke 10 million.
That is the closest you've ever been in the history of the show. It made 10 million on the nose.
Oh, wow.
and based on that, I don't know how it got a sequel.
No.
I just don't. Unless it was home release and it picked up traction there and they made a shit ton in DVD sales, which they don't release. So maybe it done that. We have some voicemails. Let's dive into this one. Play.
So happy Monday. Listening to the episode House of Wax. It's one of my fucking favorite films. Funny thing is that I'm listening. I just started it. So it's like at the beginning where you guys are talking about the sexual tension between Alicia Cuthbert, the blonde actress, not Paris Hilton, and then Chad Michael Murray. And I'm like, I've seen that movie a million times. I believe I saw it in theaters. I never caught on to that. And now that you're saying it, you're like, oh, what the fuck? Damn it, it is a little cringe. But also, it's Chad Michael Murray. How could you not want to bang him? So I feel like the sexual tension wasn't on purpose. It was just like, he's so fucking hot back then. He's kind of still hot now. Like, he got to glow up. Anyway, Paris Hilton, I'm going to tell y'all, I don't dislike her. Like, I think she's fucking hilarious. But her acting was, it was okay. But you guys need to watch this movie called The Hottie or the Naughty. Oh my God. Her acting is fucking atrocious. Also, she is a smart businesswoman. And I believe she has like 2 children now. And married. So, yeah. Anyway, okay, I'm going to finish listening because I just started. But I already have a voice message. Take care. Bye.
I don't know if we touched upon it on the episode, but what is Chad Michael Murray from?
No idea. I when Heather said his name, I'm like, don't know who that is.
It's a guy from One Tree Hill. I don't want to be anywhere other than where I'm just trying to be lately.
Never watched it.
See, this is a difference, you see, man. Every morning for me on a Sunday, E4, I'd work my way through all those Czech programs. You were still writing on chalkboards at school.
No, I'd left school. I was working.
Yeah, I mean, that's your era of.
Yeah, I was working on site on a Sunday morning when you were sat there with your cornflakes watching fucking shit on telly. We have a message from Dave.
Hi guys, just finished the Blair Witch episode. And believe it or not, I've only ever seen this film once before, and this was in the cinema on release. Because just like Scott, I lived it. I saw all the marketing, and of course I didn't believe it because supernatural shit is not real. So I went down the rabbit hole to almost try and prove it wasn't real. The same as Scott. Looked everywhere, watched the film, and I had to sort of begrudgingly believe it. So again, like Scott, late viewing. It was a 30-minute walk from my house across a dual carriageway, or my cinema at the time was based on an industrial shopping estate out of town, and you could cut behind it, cross some waste ground, past a few trees, over a football ground, and pretty much knock 15 minutes off your walking time. Coming out of that cinema, as big and ugly as and brave as I am, I did not take that shortcut. I was walking across that dual carriageway for 30 minutes, constantly looking over my shoulder, as we still passed some trees and stuff naturally. It got to me in a way I would never expect, no film ever has. And that's the reason I haven't yet rewatched it. Purely because recently I've seen so many movies from my childhood that had the nostalgia that just don't hold up. I don't want the memory of the Blair Witch to be tarnished in any way, shape or form. But great episode. Can't wait for the next one. Catch you later.
To be honest with you, Dave, I will say that I do feel like the Blair Witch of all of them does hold up very, very well because of its basic premise and its simplicity of it all. I think it is a very realistic approach to a very sort of normalized situation, if you will. And I think that's what works in its favor, and I think that's what makes that movie stand the test of time. I never saw it upon release. I didn't have the scare factor with it, but I did feel that presence when watching it today. So I think don't hesitate, man. Scott loves this movie unconditionally, as he's glorified for nearly 2 years of the podcast now. I think I would go back and give it another chance, and don't deprive yourself of an awesome movie thinking it's going to ruin itself for you, because I don't feel like this is one of those films that would, personally.
No, I think it holds up really well, and also I found like doing that episode and then like advertising the episode, I found out so much more cool stuff. Like I found alternative endings, I found deleted scenes, I found behind the scenes stuff that's all being shared now as well. So like for me, going back and watching it and then going doing a bit of digging now the internet is what it is and it's not what it was in 99 has been really enjoyable for me. Like alternate endings to the Blair Witch are fucking brilliant.
Yeah. I saw you posted on Instagram the other day about you showed the one of Mike facing forward. I didn't particularly like that, but you mentioned about one of them being hanging / crucified, which I would love to see. Is that just is that one of those myth endings where no one's actually seen it?
No, it exists. It's available, but I can't share that on socials because it depicts suicide.
Right. Okay. Oh, I'd be interested to see that. You have to send me a link for that one.
I'll send you the link for it. I wanted to share that one. And then as I'd done it, I'm like,
that sounded the most appealing to me when you listed them on the reel itself. I was like, oh, that one sounds fucking awesome, man. So yeah, I'd like to check that out.
Yeah, the levitating one's quite cool as well, where he's just like,
yeah, send me them both, man. Send me them both.
Yeah, I'll find a video that's got all of them. I'll send you the link to the lot.
Perfect.
We have one more message before we roll on. No, I lie. We have two. We have this one first.
Oh my God. So I went ahead and listened to the Bring Her Back episode because I just was making breakfast and I needed something to listen to while I was drinking my pumpkin spice latte. Oh my God. That fucking snippet of me losing my shit on all those voicemails I sent y'all over the Evil Dead. That goddamn shit is so funny. It's like comedy gold. Like just the snippets and then me like screaming. Jesus Christ. I love that. I'm happy for me. Like, I'm glad I said what I said. And yeah, our opinions are always going to vary on that. I'm not rehashing it, but God damn it, that was so funny. Also, Mark, you could never do that. You fell from 6 feet. That motherfucker's like 25 feet. Please do not parkour. You're not Michael Scott. Okay, bye.
I could do that. I could do that shit.
Yeah, and this was a video shared in the group chat of someone doing somersaults down the side of a building and flipping in and out of like car park levels, and yeah, you couldn't do that.
I could. Like, I am a genuine real life Spider-Man. Like, I'm backflipping, I'm catwalking rooftops. I do this shit all day. I've been doing this shit for 15 years, man. And trust me, it doesn't always go as well as I think it's going to in my head, hence the occasional fall. But 9 times out of 10, I execute with flawless precision and stand there and go.
Yeah, and I believe it. And I'm going to stick an advert out for a future co-host just as a backup plan, just in case.
Recent events have led me to feel like we should have some backup clause in place.
Yeah, I think so. You and me have spoken about having an emergency broadcast episode as well. We have one more, and this comes from Newman, host of Movies for Day podcast. Newman come up with a way to advertise the You Run podcast network to new members. And it's an ad that he's played on his own show. And I wanted to share it because when he sent it to me to go, is this okay? I couldn't stop laughing for fucking ages. And if I'm down and depressed, I play this to myself because it makes me happy. So this is Newman advertising to other podcasts to come and join the You Run Podcast Network.
Calling all pods, calling all pods. Do you have a fine and fresh podcast just aching to burst out onto the scene? Let me recommend the services of Scott, the podcast pimp. He's the pimp. This low-down, dirty SOB will take your lovely, luscious podcast, hike that skirt up, and get it walking the street, making your dime. You dig? Let Scott, the podcast pimp your podcast. You'll be damn glad you did. Find him kicking back and counting coin at yourunpodcast.com. Ooh, yeah. He's the pimp.
Oh man, I think he might be my favorite guy on the planet. Like we have such a similar sense of humor that I just know that if we went out for a few beers together, we would vibe on just a completely exceptional level. Like I just love that shit. I think it's fantastic.
It's so good and such a good way of getting new members to the show. Go and see Scott, the podcast pimp. He's the man. Fucking brilliant. Caption this week. We gave you this image, which, yeah, he's a cheery soul. AMPFX Studios, Alex went with the face you make when you forget the safe word. Alex, that's weak. I don't have a safe word.
Oh, and there must be a limit. There must be a stopping point somewhere.
Probably. I haven't found it yet, but I'm sure there is.
I'm sure you have, Colonel Cochran.
Yeah, Nate Mayer, a man after my own heart, went with jokes on you. I'm into this shit. Everyone kind of went the same way. Dissect That Film podcast. When bondage is your least favorite type of foreplay. Chaz, this is quite funny. He's digging at you as well. The nurse wheels in the VHS player to Marc after his terrible fall. The video plays, and it's Scott. We have such sights to show you.
Just Halloween 3 on repeat.
And yeah, Imitation Dave, or Leprechaun 81 as he is on social media. The sign said hot goth women this way. I am so naive. As I said earlier, that this episode was thrown together quite quickly. There's loads more people who replied to this, but I just couldn't get them all in. And then I was sidetracked by finding clips of things to mock Marc for his terrible fall at his age that I just didn't go back.
Age? What do you mean at my age? I'm in my prime. And you can't use that as an excuse. That must have taken 30 seconds to find that soundbite.
That one did, yeah. So our game trudges on. This is becoming the game that will never end because no one will play. It's 5 clips or 5 individual clips from 5 separate movies. Tell us what the movies are. Leave us a voicemail on X or Instagram or record a TikTok. And by the time this episode goes out, this clip will be on social media. And I imagine by the time we release, maybe not next week's episode, but the week after, this will be solved. So you need to get in now and solve this. Because if you don't, someone else is going to get in. They're going to get the 6 months free Patreon subscription, and you're not going to get it. So here is the clip.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Give me a break.
So we know that the first clip is Halloween Resurrection. It is Busta Rhymes.
Yep.
Dave, who hasn't called back in, has identified the clip that says more or move. Sorry, he knows what clip that is. You know another clip. What's the other clip?
Dave knows what move is, and he hasn't called in to say what.
He hasn't called in. He's messaged me. We've discussed it. He knows that what that movie is.
Right.
And you know another one. What other one do
I know
you
another one. Yeah, I know is it the third one I know?
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Yeah. Give me a break.
Yeah, I know the third one, which is. Am I allowed to say?
Yeah, I'm going to let you say because people are struggling.
Yeah, so for weeks I've been telling you that I thought it was Friday the 13th, but I couldn't nail down which Friday the 13th one it was. Then a reel popped up on my Instagram, which made me very, very aware of what movie it's actually from and how stupid I was to think. I mean, to be fair, I was on the right track. It's actually from Sleepaway Camp.
It is.
And just to be clear, Scott's not giving me the answers to any of these. Like, I'm nagging him daily, like, oh, I think, because I said to you that I think I know what the last one is. And
Yeah.
I messaged him and been like, I know what that one is. Is it this? And he's refused. He's told me I'm wrong, but he hasn't told me what it actually is.
Yeah, no, you've messaged me on a couple of them. Like, oh, I think this is this. And I'm like, nope. You're like, fuck's sake.
Yeah. Yeah. So the only ones I actually really know are 1 and 3.
Yeah.
I thought I knew 5, but I don't.
And Dave knows 4. So if Dave calls in with 4, there's only 2 left to get. So I'll play it one more time.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Give me a break.
See, I think I know what 4 is now as well. Because, like, as the weeks are going on, I'm hearing it regularly. I might be in a certain state of mind on one Friday, and then the following Friday, it'll go in a completely different direction. But I think I know who the actress is who says move. And I think it's only one franchise it can be from, but I couldn't tell you which movie in that franchise it is. And again, I'm probably way off, but I'm going to chance it and text you after this episode.
Which actress do you think it is? Just tell me the actress.
I think it's Sigourney Weaver.
Ah, see, someone else messaged me that as well. And no, it's not Sigourney Weaver, and it's not the Alien franchise.
All right, okay. I thought it was Sigourney Weaver from Alien. So again, see, I don't know the answer to this quiz.
We'll do one more play of this, and then we're going to move on.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Give me a break.
Yeah, so call in, leave a voicemail, Instagram, X, or record a TikTok. You have got this week pretty much to get in and play this, because as soon as it goes on social media, as soon as it goes on Horror Talk and Horror Community Instagram and X and everywhere else, this will be solved really, really quick. So if you listen to the show and you want a 6 months free subscription, get in now and do it. I'm going to let you round this one up first.
Yeah, I think The Collector's a mediocre movie that draws inspiration from everything that was popular at the time. I feel the people who have made this movie got in a room and said, let's hone in on the success of the torture porn era. And instead of making something that was an individual product, they've taken the highlight reels from everything else that was successful at the time. I think if you wanted to watch a movie in this vein, there is a million other movies that this film in particular draws inspiration for that do execute it better. That being said, it's not a bad movie. There's a lot of stuff that's here to be enjoyed. And I particularly enjoy it in certain ways. I can watch this movie and I can have a takeaway and chill out, have some popcorn, and enjoy it for what it is at face value. But if I watch this clear-headed, it just annoys me, man. I just want to know more. I just want to feel like there is more reasoning and purpose behind it, and it doesn't provide that information for me. I get more backstory and revelations in a Full Moon Productions movie than what you were presented with in The Collector. And that's fine for some people, you know. That's not an issue for a lot of viewers of horror. They're happy to be there for the ride, and the mysticism is something that maybe amplifies the experience for them. But for me, I just kind of feel like I needed to know more. I wanted to know more. And I felt like it was a disservice to the audience members to provide that information throughout the experience of this film. I feel like it would have amplified it to a level of more enjoyability and probably warranted more success from it. I'm really shocked that this is a movie that's still in circulation regarding conversations between people these days. I just don't see the need for it to be there. It's one of those ones that came and went and should have stayed went, in my opinion. I don't want to deter anybody away from watching it because I do know that there is an audience for it out there. And in terms of visual effects and the cinematography and direction, it's all very, very well done. You know, visually, this movie still holds up pretty well. It looks great. There's just a lot about it that infuriates me. And I know that those are the things that pissed me off when I first watched it all those years ago. I just weren't quite in a position or a mindset like I am now with the podcast and the review page and stuff to be able to dissect what those issues were with it that really annoyed me. It's a 2.5 out of 5. It's a very middle of the road movie. One day I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it. The other day I can watch it and it'll piss me off to high heaven. So I think it's a very subjective movie to those who are kind of into this kind of thing. Like, you know me, I'm into really B movie horror shite, but I can take those because they're self-aware of the trashiness that they're presenting and the comedy that's included within them, that I know what I'm getting and I know what I'm getting myself in for. But I feel like this movie reached too far and then fell at the final hurdle. It's Marmite. It's Marmite, and my opinion's down the middle. I just don't know where I am with it. I don't hate it, but at the same time, I don't love it either.
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the torture porn world. Like Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw X. I could take those out of that subgenre of film and watch those and be happy with those. I'm not a big fan of things like Hostel. It's just not my cup of tea. And like all of these movies are cut from the same cloth. They do things that are purposely there to shock. And sometimes that works, other times that doesn't. Things in this that didn't work for me is like right at the beginning, like the Botox in the forehead. It doesn't need to be there. It's there purely to make people go, oh, she just injects herself with Botox. It's to get that shock value. And I find it really cheap. And that's not just this film, that's all films in this genre do this. This one is enjoyable for what it is. It's a dumb, fun movie. And if you can switch off and take out the fact that it would take a week and a team of people to set up half of these traps and just enjoy it for a guy bumbling around a house and bumbling from trap to trap while a gimp is chasing him, it's a lot of fun. Like, it's a fun movie. I don't hate it and I don't love it. I'm kind of in the same place for you. And I think my biggest issue is the lack of explanation around the collector. Who is he? What does he? Why does he do what he does? What's his backstory? What's his motivations? And I don't get anything, like nothing whatsoever. Not even a glimmer, not even like the slightest hint. He's the reveal at the end where he's the exterminator. Great. That explained why he used the bugs twice. Like, tell me how he knows how to make a fucking intricate trap that catapults a young girl across the room into a wall of spikes on a projector wall. Like, explain that bit to me.
I mean, the thing is as well, though, you've got to look at it from the perspective of, is the failings of it because it didn't go on to further releases?
Potentially.
You know, like with the Saw franchise, you don't get that in the first movie. You get very little of it. No, you do get a lot of it in the second movie. But again, this did get a sequel, and had it been more focused on that John Kramer angle and explaining everything and giving reasoning behind everything, I could take the first movie as knowing it as being introduction.
Yeah, I mean, the collection does a lot more. It does a lot more. It leaves you a lot more fulfilled, and it's a much better story arc of basically Arkin escapes and Arkin gathers together a ragtag team of people to go to the collector's house and hunt the fucker down. It's actually
all expendable side of things sounds stupid to me.
But it's actually very entertaining, and it makes sense of all the traps. Like, his house is booby trapped to shit, but you expect that. It's the collector's home. So when they go into a room, it's very much like they go into a room, they're presented with a trap. It's more that, and that works better for me. I don't hate this. I don't love it. I do enjoy it. I can watch this film again and again and again. I score it quite a bit higher than you, to be honest. I give this a 3.5 out of 5. Yeah, it's fun. If it's on, it's not bad enough that I would turn it off. If it was on,
No,
I would watch it.
it's not for me either. It's not for me either. If it was on and I flicked on it and it was there, I'd watch it. And there's times in my life where I probably wanted to watch it. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those movies that I've seen pop up on streaming and always thought highly of some of the stuff about it. Because it's one of them, when it goes away for a long period of time, I remember some of the highlights and I remember the stuff that I enjoyed. But then when I watch it, I'm like, oh, yeah, that's why I don't watch this all the time.
Which is probably why it's still in the general conversation, because everyone has that nostalgia for the bit where he's nearly degloved. They have the nostalgia for the bear traps. It's that
yeah, because there is a lot of highlights in this. There is some amazing highlight reels, especially when you talk about practical effects like we have in this episode. There is moments where you think, wow, that was really cool, that was really creative. But then when you sit there on it and you're like, but how did you do that?
Yeah, how did you do that? That's it for this week of Kate Rules Month. This is a shorter runtime episode for a couple of reasons. One, the collector has absolutely no meat on the bones. Two, because Marc is injured and we've tried to do this at a pace that allows him to go and lay back down in his old granddad chair and nurse and lick his wounds. We're going to be back next week with a normal runtime episode as we look at a movie that covers kids running through a neighborhood at night with their arms behind their back like you did as a kid, going meow.
I'm so excited for this.
Yeah, we're looking at weapons. I'm going to have strong opinions. I know I am. I'm going to have strong opinions.
Yeah. I've watched it already. I know you haven't watched it in preparation yet. I have watched it. I watched it last night. I've had a lot of free time over the last couple of days. So I watched it and I'm not going to dive too much into my opinion on it, but it's definitely worthy of conversation. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
There's going to be some interesting things discussed regarding that movie. And I think a lot of things that we're going to discuss is probably going to piss a lot of people off, because I know how this movie seems to have just been elevated into the stratosphere of being movie of the year. But I have some issues with Zach Kreger. You've listened to the Barbarian episode. You've heard my thoughts on that.
No one's heard the Barbarian episode.
Why has no one heard the Barbarian episode?
Because the Barbarian episode was an episode that someone paid for when we were selling episodes. That was a personalized episode. No one has heard our thoughts. Our 2-hour episode on Barbarian lives behind closed doors, and only a few people have heard that episode.
Can we not release that now as a Patreon episode? Are we past that point, or do we have to stay loyal to the people who paid for it initially?
Potentially, I could reach out to the person who still has a copy of it.
Yeah, because that was a cool episode, and we dived quite deep. Like you say, it was a 2-hour episode. We dived heavily into.
That was pre-video.
Yeah, that was pre-video. That was audio only. And do you know what? Yeah, okay. So again, it's going to be a good episode, because I thought we were treading new existing ground talking about Zach Kreger, but it turns out nobody's heard our thoughts on Zach Kreger yet.
No one's heard your 30-minute rant followed by my 10-minute rant on the position we have on that director and his filmmaking style, and his ability to start great out of the blocks and then turn into a grandpa at the end.
Wow, that's so cool, man, because I would have completely gone into next week thinking everybody knew where we were at with this guy.
Yeah, no one does. In fact, if anyone wants to hear the Barbarian episode, call in. If you want the Barbarian episode in audio only, because that's the only way it exists. I'll reach out to the person who purchased that from us 2 and a bit years ago.
Who did we do that?
That was for Tasha.
It was for Tasha, yes.
Yeah, it was for Tasha for a birthday gift, and she come on as guest, and yeah, it's on Patreon. I was going to say there's some stuff in there that I said about my ex-wife that probably shouldn't be aired, but if it's on Patreon, it's fine.
Yeah, get that shit. Get that. Ask Tasha if we can have that episode back, and we will release it, because that was a cool. I remember it being a good episode at the time, and I completely forgot that we didn't ever release it.
Yeah, I think if I get it back, I'll have to send you a copy, and we'll have to screen it before that goes out.
You know me, man. I don't give a fuck. Just post it.
There is that. Okay, well, that's it for this week. Now you've heard we've got a secret episode. You know what we've got coming next week. Until then, have a wonderful week. Don't fall off any roofs, and we'll see you next time.
Stay safe, guys. See you next week.
You want to die tonight?
Jokes you tell sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Marc's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. You run podcasts, horror movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. Thank you for taking us on this chilling ride, when nightmares roll free and comedy collide. With your podcast we laugh and cringe, but your content is so good we can't help but binge. You run podcasts. You run podcasts.
Get down on your knees and tell me you love me.
Trick or treat. What have you done?
Eat shit! Move! Give me a break.